Okay, so for the Texas Caves, Caverns of Sonora, Inner Space Caverns, Natural Bridge Caverns, and Cave Without a Name have gotten together to form the Texas Cave Trail Passport. So you can pick up one of these passports at any of those 4 caves, get it punched every time you take a tour. After you visit the 4 caves, turn this card in at your last cave, and you will get a free t-shirt that you can only get by doing the passport.
And that's within a year's time?
Yes.
Texas Caves.
Trail. Texas Cave Trail.
Okay.
Okay.
And there's my punch right there. Yay. Thank you, Miss Pat.
You're very welcome.
Okay, so here is the entrance to the cave with no name. If you want to pause this so you can read it, you can. And right next to it is a list of the rules.
Okay, so when the guys talked to this rock wall, they had to drill holes into it and blast it out, basically widening out the sinkhole. So from the edge of the ceiling to the left and the edge of the railing to the left is where the natural sinkhole is. We'll circle around it for 2 flights of steps, and then halfway down the 3rd flight, you'll get to look up and look out the sinkhole.
Nice.
Which is really cool. He realized he forgot to name it. So he went to Bernie Elementary School and had a contest. Whatever child picked the best name, that would become the cave's name, and the child would win $250, which was a really big deal back in 1940. Still is today, actually. Anyway, the child that won was 9 years old. His entry was Cave Without a Name, and his reason was it was just too beautiful to try to describe with any words. That got it. And it was probably this next section of the cave that the child was talking about.
Oh my gosh, that is beautiful.
And now we get into all the really huge formations. Not only does the size of the formation depend on the amount of water coming through and the amount of minerals in it, but the speed that it comes through. And when it rains hard outside, After a couple days, it'll be like somebody turns on a water faucet up here, so the water just pours out. There's no time to grow a big stalactite. Instead, we get the huge stalagmite. Then beside it is a bell canopy. Water pours down on that center knob and flows pretty evenly all around it. And then we have canopies up on columns. Think of the canopies as like a canopy. It looks like it's shading something. There's one up there, one over there, and then a really big one on the other side of the room.
Okay, Miss Pat, tell us what we're about to experience.
Okay, so I'm going to turn out the lights, and you're going to get to experience the cave in its natural state, total darkness.
I can't see anything. I can't even see.
In the total darkness of the cave, you could be down here for a week and still not see your hand in front of your face.
You can't see your hand. You can't see anything.
There's just no light to detect, which is why we don't see much life in the cave. The bats will fly in using echolocation, so bouncing sounds off the walls. The rest of the animals have to be able to find a very limited food supply in total darkness. So the things that live down here year-round are usually in or near the water where nutrients get washed in, and typically no eyes, because eyes don't do them any good down here. They're very sensitive to fluctuations in temperature, movement, vibrations, smells, things like that.
So other than bats and salamanders, what other wildlife do you typically?
Typically crickets are pretty common. They're the scavengers of the cave. Anything that, even people's skin cells as they walk through and fall off, crickets can live off of those. We have a beetle that's only been found in this cave, the particular species. Sometimes we see little tiny blind white millipedes, little tiny bugs called springtails because they're able to jump around. Then in the stream, cave salamanders, crawfish, and then the little tiny amphipods and isopods, the cave shrimp.
Wow.
That's about it.
Amazingly dark in here. Thank you, Miss Pat.
Oh, you're welcome. You ready for light?
Yes, ma'am. There you are.
Go. The name is located northeast of Bernie off of Kreitzberg Road. We're open every day of the year except Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day. From September until the end of May, we open every day at 10 o'clock with the last tour at 4. Summertime, Memorial Day to Labor Day, we're open 9 in the morning and last tours at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You don't need reservations. On busy days, we run tours more often, 20 minutes apart versus slow time, about an hour apart. Come to the visitor center, get your tickets, and you're on the next tour.
And this is Miss Pat, and thank you so much for your wealth of knowledge, and thank you for just making this a very special tour for me.
I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you, Miss Pat.
Well, that's it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed The Cave Without a Name. I sure did. Hope to see you in the next video. And remember, love life, love each other, and love the path that brings you happiness and sets you free. Cheers and blessings, y'all.